was it Brother Hamza who was asking about Prophet Dawood alayhi salam. The story I referred to in Surah Sad, I said one of the very famous explanations of the commentators of the Quran is what I mentioned earlier about the two opponents. Then he gave a verdict before listening to the other opponent. There is another explanation which says that whenever he was in seclusion, fil mihrab, and that was the time for him to worship, and no one was allowed to enter upon him. So these guys had an urgent case, so they climbed the wall and they entered upon him, and he suspected that they're here to assassinate him. That is because it was common amongst the prophets of Bani Israel that their people would assassinate them, as they did with Yahya and they tried with Zakaria alayhi salam, you know. So the thought in his mind, whenever he was ready to, to punish them, a reaction, while they have already a case, but he judged in the case based on the confession of the second party. So this way they freed Dawood alayhi salam from giving a verdict without listening to the two opponents. But because of the thought that crossed his mind that these guys are here to assassinate him. And in this case, he realized that it was a test. فَاسْتَغْفَرَ رَبَّهُ وَخَرَّ رَاكِعًا وَأَنَبَ. And this is one of the 15 or 16 positions of the Quran where it is highly recommended to make sujood. When you recite it or when the Imam recites it, then the followers, and make sujood, then the followers should make sujood as well. The following ayah says, فَغَفَرْنَا لَهُ ذَلِكَ. So we pardon him for that. No one should doubt that Dawood alayhi salam was one of the great prophets of Allah, that even in this story in Surah Sad, before the story of the two opponents were mentioned, Allah admired him by mentioning 10 of his beautiful traits of being musabbih, of being righteous, of being a devout worshipper in the previous ayat. In addition to praising him in other ayat, the Prophet ﷺ also says in the hadith, أفضل الصلاة صلاة داود وأفضل الصيام صيام داود. The best of prayers and the best of fasting is the prayer of Dawood and the fasting of Dawood alayhi salam. He used to pray, he used to pray 1/3 of the night, then he would sleep in the remaining 1/6 of the night. Then he used to fast on every other day. May Allah's peace and blessings be upon him. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sister Umar from the KSA.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam, Sister Umar.
Actually, my question is pertaining to the answer you gave before about smoking. I am worried when you said even the incense. So we cannot put bukhur in our houses during daytime in Ramadan.
Okay.
And what about the smoke of food, for example, when you cook or we grill or something like that?
Okay, thank you, Sister Umar. Yes, I guess I answered this question yesterday. Smelling the food, that doesn't violate the fasting. The smoke that is coming from it's just a steam, but the smoke, it has germ or density. So when we light incense and we put the bukhur on top of the charcoal, it makes a heavy smoke. When you deliberately smell and sniff the smoke, that violates fasting, no doubt. Okay? If you spray some perfume or fresheners, or the incense was lit somewhere and you only find the fragrance, that doesn't violate fasting. What violates fasting is when you smell or you sniff that smoke deliberately. Barakallahu feekum.
Huda TV's social media sites are the best way to contact us from anywhere around the world. Stay connected with Huda TV's latest news and programs through Facebook, Twitter, Google+, YouTube, Skype, and Instagram. It's fast and easy. Stay up to date with your favorite shows and scholars today. Huda TV, a light in every home.